Unit 10, review question number 28. You wish to find the height of a steeple on the top of your church from a point 100 feet away. The angles of elevation to the bottom and the top of the steeple are provided. So this angle from here to here is 26, and from here all the way up is 48. So I'm going to draw this initial triangle. So we're going to do the small one. We know this is 26. We do not know the distance from the ground up to the bottom of the steeple. That's our unknown value. But we know this distance is 100. So how do we choose which primary trig function to use, whether it's sine, cosine, or tangent? Well, from this given angle, this is opposite and this is adjacent. I know tangent is opposite over adjacent. In order to solve here, I'm going to multiply both sides by 100, and now I'll know the distance from the ground up to the bottom of the steeple. So once again, we are talking about degrees. I'm going to go into mode and making sure I'm in terms of degrees. A lot of students get confused. When do I use the inverse sign in the calculator? We're not trying to find angles. The angles are provided. We're trying to find a length. So I'm going to type in tangent of 26, press enter, and take it times 100. So 48.77, that's this distance. 48.77, that's this distance right here, 48.77. Ultimately, I want to know what's the height of the steeple, so I now want to know this distance from here to here. What is this distance? So now let's look at the large triangle. I'm going to move this up a little bit. I'm going to look at the large triangle. Now, from here all the way up, this angle of elevation is 48. So this angle is 48. We know this continues to be 100. And now this length, we know from here to here is this 48.77. But we don't know this length right here. So how do I set this up? Again, I have an angle, and I'm provided with the adjacent, and I know part of the opposite. So off to the side here, I'm going to write down the tangent of 48 degrees is equal to opposite, let's call this x. X plus this 48.77, and then we're going to divide that by the adjacent. So how do I ultimately isolate the x? Well, first I'm going to multiply both the left and the right times 100. So I'm going to take on the calculator 100 times the tangent of 48 degrees. And then after that, to isolate the x and find out what is just this distance from the bottom of the steeple to the top, I'll subtract this 48.77 over. Okay, so I have this exact amount. I want to leave that there. I'm going to take tangent of 48 degrees. Oops, I better start with 100 here. 100 times the tangent. You know what? I'm going to do it like this. 100 times the tangent of 48 degrees. And then I'm going to subtract afterwards. I want to subtract this amount over. So that's the previous answer. I want to subtract to the opposite side. And we can see that this height of the steeple from the top to the bottom is approximately 62.28 or 62.3 feet high.